best racing car simulators are now available for your personal and corporate entertainment. We manufacture for sale or hire open wheel and saloon car simulators. Don't bore your guests with long speeches, entertain them with something a little different at your corporate events. Set an impression that lasts forever with our car simulators. Put the brakes on your busy schedule and call us today on 0800 497 377.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round number 7 of the 2017 Hyperstimulator New Zealand Supercars League, live from Hidden Valley tonight. We are in the process of just finishing the final practice session for the night before we head into qualifying. A very stacked grid tonight with a total of 21 cars. One of the biggest grids we've had for quite some time now. So it's going to be a very busy and a very competitive field. Not a lot in it between the entire field so far in practice. Oars. Daniel Bugler just deals to Peter Reid there. It's only practice, boys. No need to get aggressive yet. So Ben Rothberg currently leads, tops the timesheets in this session, followed by Peter Reid and then Craig Priest, Daniel Kinsman, Aaron Wilson, Taylor Oakes, Luke Dunsford, Matthew Kinsman, and then Daniel Bugler, and then Brad Jessen rounding out the top 10. Before we go qualifying, we may as well show you the championship points situation. So on the screen is the situation as it stands after... Sorry, my mistake, there is a bit of an error there. Currently having a look as to what's happened there. So I'll just pull it up now actually. If it will let me. Ah, there we go. So that is your championship points for the current situation. Currently in first tied is Chris Bramley and Craig Priest. Sitting at third is Nathan Addis. Only a handful of points behind. Fourth is Trevor Wilson. Fifth, Taylor Oakes. Sixth, Daniel Bugler. Seventh, Jason Wilds. Eighth, Trevor Christensen. Ninth, Rob Derrick. 10th, Daniel Kinsman. That is the top 10 in the championship currently after 6 rounds. 11th equal is Aaron Wilson and Brad Jessen on 36 points. 13th is Peter Reid on 29. Tony Dance is next in 14th. 15th is Darren Owen. 16th, Luke Dunsford. 17th is David Stevens and Ben Rothberg tied on 15 points. 19th is Jen Siverson on 14 points. 20th equal is Andrew Jones and Sean Petrie on 12 points. Matthew Kinsman is in 22nd with 8 points. And then we end up on the last page of the standings currently, and Scott Hatton and Nick Higgins are currently tied up for points for 23rd on 6. That is going to change tonight, as Scott is not racing unfortunately, but Nick is. Carl Rennie is next in 25th with 5 points, and rounding out the end of the 26th position in the championship is Louis Cachero on 3 points. We are about to go qualifying, so it's going to be very interesting. There are the current times on screen now. So, unfortunately, a bit of a change of plans. We're going to be doing an extra 10 minutes worth of practice before we go qualifying. Currently, there's a slight situation going on in the background here, so we'll just have to be patient. Currently, pretty much on time at the moment, so shouldn't be too much of an issue to do another 10 minutes practice, but it will be a good opportunity for those who are not quite at their point of practice laps, should be able to get some more in before they go qualifying. So currently on track is only a handful of cars at the moment. That would be Craig Priest, Taylor Oakes. Order a little bit shuffled up here, so we'll try find Tony Dance leaving pit lane there, as Nathan Addis rejoins after a R-Factor crashed on him. So Daniel Bigelow about to start a lap. So cars are now starting to file out of pit lane. Bigelow goes up the inside of Dance there. Brad Jessen coming through turn 1 now as well. So all these guys roughly in the same part of the track. There's been no one who's left pit lane extremely early, as Brad Jessen just decides to drive off and call it quits for a minute. So we'll go back to and have a look through who's currently on track. Taylor Oakes about to finish a lap, and that'll be a 106.155, sorry, not a 0. Luke Dunsford in the background about to finish a lap as well, and that will be a 1 minute 5.210.9, sorry. So he goes quickest. Craig Priest about to cross the line with a 1 minute 5.436. Daniel Bergler does a minute 5.617. Andrew Jones does a 1 minute 21.195. Matthew Kinsman then has just done a 1 minute 6, sorry, my mistake. 1 minute 6.123, as he's just left pit lane and just clobbers the wall as he's done it, left his box. So Dunsford, the current lead in the final practice session by the looks of it, which is quite interesting to note. Obviously a couple of guys not out there, and a couple of guys not probably going to be doing this session due to either having dinner or having a bathroom break and taking this time to get ready for qualifying. As Jason Wilds in the background there leaving his pit box as well to join the lot on track. Craig Priest goes fastest with a 1 minute 4.860. So some fairly quick times at the moment being laid down, and it's only practice, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens in terms of who gets pole and what the lap time is. Lap times are looking fairly close to what they were last year around Hidden Valley with the Pro League guys, with Josh Revel and David Stevens being in the 1 minute 4 range. I would not be surprised if the likes of Ben Rothberg and Peter Reid will get into the 103s. If they did, it would be fairly impressive, as that is very quick indeed. As we'll just look through, we'll actually go on board with Craig Priest for a lap here, and we'll just see how the man driving the Castrol GTX Nissan gets around this technical little track in Darwin. So that was a bit of onboard from Craig Priest. We'll have a look at who else is on track at the moment. That's Daniel Kinsman crossing the line, and that's going to be a 1 minute. No, it's not a lap at all. He's just started one. So currently coming through the first corner, through turn 3 chicane, as there's smoke in the background, and that is Tony Dance, I believe, in the background there. That went straight on at the gravel. Yes, it was. So, not quite the ideal line that you want to be taking into turn 1, but nevertheless. So Daniel Kinsman, that last lap, as I'm trying to get my mouse onto the screen, there we go, is just done a 1 minute 5.253. So he sits third on the timesheets at the moment. Jason Wild's just behind him. He sits ninth at the moment on a 1 minute 6.234. Apologies about the lack of commentary at the moment. A couple of distractions just going on in the background, so bear with us. Nathan Addis taking it to the exit of pit lane at a bit of a slow rate currently. So we'll have a look at someone else. Craig Priest is about to come across the line, and he goes quicker with a 1 minute 4.386. So he is definitely hammered down. Jason Wilds, I believe, was just leaving pit lane, and Daniel Kinsman is leaving pit lane again as well. Not many drivers on the circuit at the moment. Shouldn't be too far away from going to qualifying now. Andrew Jones currently on screen in that very simple yet nice livery with Ford on it, done by the late great Simon Cribb. As he's coming through the final few turns, what's a bit of curb use there. Might have hampered his exit a little bit, using not all the racetrack, but that's fine. as he's just done a 1 minute 9.005, so not overly quick, but he'll probably be focusing on race pace at the moment, I would presume, as Craig Priest and that is Damien Boltree in the background there, going at it with each other. Damien a newcomer tonight. Ooh, bit of gas there. A little bit too much. As I was saying, Damien new tonight, so hope he does well. He's looking like he's not doing too bad. So, should see him probably, I'd say, in the top 10. Currently sitting 12th in practice at the moment, with a 1 minute 7.497. So, rough just over 2 tenths off Tony Dance, who sits in 11th. As he goes with a 1 minute, that's a slower time, so he doesn't improve. Daniel Bugler just exiting pit lane now. So, practice is about to end as Jason Wilds goes across the line with a 1 minute 5.919. Nathan Addis just ahead of him. We'll try find him on screen here as we cycle through everybody. There he is. And that for Square Holden Commodore. He's actually yet to set a lap at the moment, I believe. No? Yes, he is. So this will be his flying lap here as he's coming through sector 2, right on the edge. Bugler just dropping a bit of... No, Jason Wild, sorry, dropping a bit of grass, or wheel onto the grass there. Or a bit of curb use there from Nathan Addis, as he's coming through the final. Oh, that's a big wiggle from him there. As he's gone across the line to do a 1 minute 6.722. So that puts him 10th. So qualifying is about to start. So practice is over. We shall switch over to qualifying, which will be as per normal. And for those who are new, a 1 warm-up lap and 1 flying lap shootout style. Rightio, here we go. It is qualifying time tonight. Everybody piling to the end of pit lane at the moment. It's quite the traffic jam by the looks of it. Everybody parked and waiting for the green lights, and the lights are green and everybody files out of pit lane. Bit of pushing and everything going on there as people are trying to get out of pit lane. Bugler warming his tyres up quite aggressively there. So this is going to be an interesting session because of how close the times have actually been tonight. There's been a little bit of a gap, but it's not been drastically big. compared to other rounds. So the first car in the order, as we're just scrolling through, is Taylor Oakes by the looks of it, as he comes through the final corner to start his lap. Daniel Kinsman just leaving pit lane there in the background, or foreground more or less, as Oakes comes down the front stretch into the first braking zone for turn 1, hard on the brakes, really trying to get the car in and rotated. Not sure where Bugler has gone in the background there. Oh no, that's Jason Wild, so I think Bugler's maybe made a mistake there going into turn 1. No, never mind. I'm mistaken. I was just looking. So Oakes is going to be the first driver to set a benchmark time for everybody to try and beat, as he's coming through the final sector now. Not a little bit, well, a little bit of curb use there, or over the curb there, just to get the car a little bit rotated more so he can get an exit. Coming down the front straight, what is his time going to be as he's coming across the line? Now it's going to be a 1 minute 6.536, followed by Jason Wilds and Daniel Bugler. Jason Wilds does a 1 minute 5.999. Bugler with a 1 minute 5.545. Brad Jessen with a 1 minute 5.805. Rob Derrick with a 1 minute 6.360. It's going to be Aaron Wilson has gone to the top with a 1 minute 5.311. Who else is on a lap? Nathan Addis coming through the final corner now in that 4-square car. What's he going to do here? It's going to be Chris Bramley's done a 1 minute 7.665 in the meantime. Nathan Addis won a 1 minute 6.487, so that puts him in 7th at the moment. Luke Dunsford in the background, not sure if that was a lap or not. I don't think it was. No, he's just starting his lap. So Trevor Christensen also off in the distance there. Goes 6th quickest with a 1 minute 6.150. Trying to find as Daniel Kinsman goes straight ahead. That's his lap over. He's gone 2nd quickest with a 1 minute 5.463. So Paul Jaffer, I believe, on screen at the moment. He's going to do he's currently on a flying lap. So the drivers left on a flying lap are Peter Reid, Paul Jaffer on. Just looking and saw Peter Reid have a bit of a lock up there. Tony Dance is about to finish a lap as well. So what's he going to put it on here? Tony Dance goes with a 1 minute 7 ball. So everyone has qualified by the looks of it. Peter Reid is going to be your pole sitter for tonight's first race with a 1 minute 4.089. Second place is Ben Rothberg with a 1 minute 4.140. 51 hundredths separating the top two. Then you go back to Craig Preston third. He is 6 tenths down with a 1 minute 4.692. Then we go back to Aaron Wilson, Daniel Kinsman, Daniel Bugler, Brad Jesson, Luke Dunsford, Jason Wilds, Trevor Christensen. That is your top 10 for qualifying. Then we go down to 11th and below. 11th sits Rob Derrick, followed by Nathan Addis, Taylor Oakes, Nick Higgins, Tony Dance, Brian Hewson, Chris Bramley, Andrew Jones, Damien Boturi. 20th is Paul Jaffa. That is your top 20. Then we go back to Matthew Kinsman, who is unfortunately must have made a mistake on his lap, as he has done a 1 minute 21.136. So from first to 10th, it's 2 seconds. From first to fourth, it's about 1.2 seconds. As far as each position goes, it's only a few tenths or so. So it's going to be interesting to see how well everybody copes with this session, with the races, especially with turn 1 tightening up at the entry. So we'll be back shortly for race number 1.
Go, go, go! The world's best racing car simulators are now available for your personal and corporate entertainment. We manufacture for sale or hire open wheel and saloon car simulators. Don't bore your guests with long speeches. Entertain them with something a little different at your corporate events. Set an impression that lasts forever with our car simulators. Put the brakes on your busy schedule and call us today on 0800 497 377. world's best racing car simulators are now available for your personal and corporate entertainment. We manufacture for sale or hire open wheel and saloon car simulators. Don't bore your guests with long speeches, entertain them with something a little different at your corporate events. Set an impression that lasts forever with our car simulators. Put the brakes on your busy schedule and call us today on 0800 497 377.
Rightio, it is race time. Let's get ready to race for race number 1, 20 laps and 1 compulsory pit stop. It is Peter Reid and Ben Rothberg on the front row. As the lights are going to come on very shortly. Revs are rising. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights. Lights out and away we go. Couple of good start by Peter Reid there as we go further back. Oh, looking like there might have been a couple of guys getting a bad start. We're going to go 4-3 wide into turn 1. It's going to get messy. Oh, there's going to be a couple of cars. Looking like everybody's made it through. Nathan Addis going 3 wide with Nick Higgins, and I believe that was possibly Wilson as well. Oh, Higgins across the grass. Oh, no, there's a bit of contact between Higgins and Addis. It's bumper-to-bumper stuff here as we head towards the hairpin. No one looking. Oh, Dunsford possibly looking to make a move. Wilson. Oh, there's 2 cars around. That is Brad Jessen and Daniel. No, sorry. Paul Jaffer and Daniel Kinsman, sorry, around. No, Brad Jessen and Daniel Kinsman, sorry, that was. As we come through the final corner, Kinsman's off as well, but apparently. As we come... As they head down towards turn 1, Peter Reid leads Ben Rothberg from Craig Priest, Daniel Bugler, Jason Wiles, Nathan Addis. Oh, Nathan Addis getting a bit of a hit from... Oh, that's another one from Luke Dunsford and Aaron Wilson by the looks of it. As they file through turn 2 and 3, Nathan Addis is going to look to go possibly up. Nope, he's staying behind Luke Dunsford. He's rubbing him, he's pushing him. So it's looking like it's been fairly clean at the moment. As we head towards the start. Oh, and Chris Bramley in the background there has gone around. Not sure what happened there. Think he's just done it on his own. Let's actually quickly grab a replay of what's actually happened there to see what's happened. So Chris Bramley is looking like he's just made slight contact, touched the curb and done it on his own by the looks of it, as Ben Rothberg does the quickest lap of the race, jumping back to live now, as that was Paul Jaffer off in the background in the gravel. Oh, he's going to be in there for probably a little bit. He's managed to get himself out by the looks of it. Battle going on at the back here between Boltry and Higgins. Boltry looking to make a try and make a move anyway, but it's not going to happen. Higgins is going to stay ahead, and I believe that is for 18th position there. So we'll jump back to the front of the field, just cycling through. Good little battle pack going on here for what appears to be for just outside the top 10. Aaron Wilson and Brian Yahusen going side by side down the front stretch. Who's it going to be? It's going to go 4 wide into turn 1. It's... Oh, Matthew Kinsman just getting up the inside of Trevor Christensen, and he's just managed to haul it up and not end up in the gravel. Brian Hoosen just behind Trevor Christensen there. Had to check up behind Matthew Kinsman to avoid running into him. So it's looking like Hoosen's going to want to make a move on Christensen here. Christensen getting a little bit of a love tap there from Hoosen, as Bramley's looking to also try go around the outside of Rob Derrick, and he's looking like he's going to have the run in the correct line into the next corner, and he's got the move done. So very good move from Chris Bramley there to get around the outside of Rob Derrick. field fairly well bunched up at the moment by the looks of it, which is good to see. Everybody's had some fairly clean driving. As Houston's looking to make a move on Christensen. Bramley's going to look up the inside as well. He's going to go straight past, and Houston's going to want to get past Christensen as well, but there's no gap, so he's going to have to settle in behind. Taylor Oakes also looking like he's making a move on. Oh, and Houston's gone around. Oh, and there's contact between him and Oakes. I'm not sure what happened there. I'll quickly grab a replay and have a look. So as they come down into the first corner, what's actually happened here? Oh, he's just outbroken himself, and he's clipped the inside wall. Oh, that's quite a hit as well. So it's looking like he's fallen back to about 19th, so that's not ideal at all. So we'll just try get back to that battle pack up at inside the top 10. Currently looking at the battle for 5th, 6th and 7th as Wilson puts a move up tries to put a move up the inside of Wilds there, but it's not going to work. Wilds holds on to 6th place. Just behind them is the battle. There's a little bit of a battle for 8th between Addis, Bramley and Kinsman. As Wilds is going to keep it. He's going to hold on to it. No, Wilson's going to drive around the outside of him. So Wilson now moves up into 6th position. Bramley looking to make a move just in the background there on Matthew Kinsman. Is he going to get it done? We'll have a look. Has he got it done? Not quite, but he's all over the rear end of him. So Bramley is not quite got a run. He stuck his nose out. Kinsman goes defensive very last second. Jeez, that's late. Oh, and Bramley's just run it a little bit wide. That's going to have cost him. As Kinsman, and Bramley's up the inside of Kinsman here, and there's a bit of contact between him and Addis. Aaron Wilson is around over there on the grass, just in the background. So that now moves Kinsman and Addis, and I think Bramley up as Addis runs wide in the background. Up into 7th, 8th and 9th. Bramley looking to make a move on Addis here. We'll focus on this little battle here between Bramley and Addis. Bramley's going to try get the run onto the front stretch here. So they're going to come down the front stretch. Bramley's in the draft. Oakes is also in the draft of Christensen in the background there as they come down the front stretch to start lap 7, sorry. He's going to look and make a move. No, he thinks better of it, but just poking his nose out and saying, hello, I'm here, Nathan. Just be ready, guess you could say. Bramley going to make a move. Oakes looking to make a move up the inside on Christensen. He's got it done. Christensen's going to get run around the outside. He's going to have the optimum line into the hairpin here. What's going to happen? No, Oakes has outbraked him and gone around the outside. So a number of people actually going around the outside at the hairpin here. Some very good moves being pulled tonight from a number of people at that hairpin especially. So jump back to the battle between Bramley and Addis. Bramley's looking up the insole. That was going to be close. Probably wasn't an ideal spot to pass, as he's got to run. Dunsford and Bugler up ahead. That's going to be an interesting battle. We'll actually jump to that battle quickly. So, Bugler's got past by the looks of it. Very well as well. So he will take 4th position. Dunsford almost coming back at him there. Oh, we'll jump back to the battle between Bramley and Addis. And now it's a 3-way battle. Kinsman's involved. This is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. So just there's contact between Addis and Kinsman and Bramley. That's close. They're going to go 3 wide through the final sector. Oh, side by side, there's a bit of barging and bashing going on between the 3 of them. Jeez, that's rough. As Oaks is now going to take advantage of Kinsman's demise. Mistake, sorry. That's going to end up being... Is he going to do it? He's got it up the inside. Peter Reid's just come out of pit lane, so he'll be doing his compulsory pit stop there. And Oaks is up the inside. He's not quite got the run there. So, a bit of a move there. That was interesting. So Peter Reid is sitting 11th at the moment, so he is one of the first few to have pitted. The majority of guys yet to pit, but we are now halfway, so I would say we're probably going to be seeing people pitting now. As Oaks is looking like he's going to keep on the rear of Matthew Kinsman here. He's looking embracey. He's looking like he's got a bit of pace on him. Oh, Kinsman with a bit of a wiggle there. I'm not sure. Got a bit loose. I'm not sure if that was contact or not, but that's allowed Oaks to have a look up the inside. He's alongside him. Is he going to get the move done? A couple of other guys, Craig Priest, one of them, who are now in pit lane. Just actually have a look quickly. Who is? Oaks is up the inside. You see, no, he's not quite done it. So Matthew Kinsman moves up into 7th. Nathan Addis just going off earlier there, not sure why. As Addis and Kinsman pull into pit lane, Bramley and Wilds are also in pit lane. So this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Peter Reid does a 1 minute 3.9, the quickest lap of the race so far. So, is Nathan Addis going to jump Kinsman here? I would say he is. They've left their box. Bramley's going to be just ahead of him. Is this side by side coming out of pit lane? No, Bramley's just going to edge Addis. I think Kinsman's lost out quite heavily there. That's not ideal. Jason Wilds is currently at the front of that pack. Craig Priest just in the background there, started 3rd. He's not too far up actually. Not sure what's happened there, but anyway. So it looks like Luke Dunsford has got himself a stop-go, possibly for speeding in pit lane. That's going to hurt him. And that will allow Matthew Kinsman to move up at least 1 position. Or has he already? So currently the order is, so currently Bugler leads. He's actually just entered pit lane, apparently. So there's a bit of a battle pick further back between Bramley, Oaks and Kinsman. There's a bit of contact between Kinsman and Oaks, and that's allowed Priest to go through. He's going to go around the outside, or is Oaks going to go up the inside? No, Oaks is going to stay there, or gives Priest a bit of a touch. Forces him a little bit wide, but not too bad. So Priest is making his way back through the field. He's currently sitting in 10th. So this is going to be interesting to see whether he's going to be whether he can climb back up through the order. He's going to go up the inside of Taylor Oaks here with a very late move on the brakes as he made it stick just barely. He's managed to just pull it up. So currently, by the looks of it, it looks like Tony Dance is yet to pit by the looks of it. He's the only one currently on track who hasn't pitted, and he's just come into pit lane now. So he'll start dropping it down the order. As Damien just moving over there for blue flags, so good sportsmanship from him. As Tony Dance there in lane still, probably be just exiting now. So this battle for the minors here still fairly good between Bramley, Priest, Oaks and Kinsman. Kinsman looking like he's probably got a little bit of pace. Not sure if it's going to be enough to catch Bramley though. Bramley will be trying to hold Priest behind him, especially considering they're tied in the championship for the points at the moment. So it's going to be interesting to see how all this all plays out in the end, because Bramley will want to keep that championship lead for as long as possible. Currently not a lot happening. Everybody seems to be fairly spread out. Apparently there's a battle pack for 13th at the moment, so we'll go back to that. Between Nick Higgins is going up the inside. Oh, and there's contact between Kinsman and Higgins there. Kinsman will have to readdress. As try and find another battle pack here. Kinsman on Christensen. Kinsman doesn't seem to be slowing up, so he's probably giving Christensen a bit of a nudge there. Oh, and Peter Reid in the background and Ben Rothberg. That is the battle for the lead. What's Kinsman going to do here on Christensen? It's going to be close. Peter Reid not quite opting to make a move on. Not opting to make a move on Ben Rothberg there. Rothberg still seems to have got a little bit of a better exit out of turn one there. He's all over the back of Christensen here. Poor big lock up from him there. as he's going to go around the outside. Christensen lets him go. I'm going to say he's going to let Peter Reid go. He's going to make him work for it though and go around the long way. But he does let him go. As Nick Higgins in the background there, by the looks of it, having another moment. The battle we'll go back to the battle between Bramley and Priest and Wilds by the looks of it, as it's heating up again. It's actually been quite a good battle here. Priest has actually managed to get by, but Bramley's not going to have much of that. He's going to want to get straight back bys. He's going to look to go around the outside. He's gone too deep, and that's compromised his exit there. So Priest will just hold on. Roughly 2 laps to go now for the leaders. Ben Rothberg and Peter Reid as they're coming through the start of the second sector. Looking at my timing screen. This battle for 6th and so 4th, 5th and 6th is going to be still fairly close. I'm not sure if Bramley's going to have anything left on the table for Priest here. Although, knowing Bramley, he will not give up lightly. So he will push as hard as he can, even if the tyres are not going to cooperate. As he's going to go for a move up the inside here. Is he going to stick? He's gone across the grass and just about... Well, no, he has wiped out Wilds. So Wilds has been wiped out by Bramley. So Priest goes through and Addison Oaks will go through as well to take advantage of that. So Bramley's not going to be happy with himself there. I think he's just broken slightly too late. He has readdressed. As there's a sign sitting in the middle of the road there. So that means Craig Priest is going to move up to 4th, Nathan Ellis 5th, and Taylor Oaks 6th. Is Oaks going to make a move here on this last lap? So coming across the line to start the final lap here. It's going to be a close one. Oaks will want to get by, I would say. Bramley in the background there, trying to recover some positions, possibly 1 or 2, if not less. But it's going to be Ben Rothberg who's going to win the race for race number 1, followed by Peter Reid, and then Bugler is yet to finish. We'll quickly jump back to that battle between Addison and Oaks. Oaks is all over the rear of Nathan. Looks like there is also a battle just behind them between Wilson and Bramley. Bramley want to be consolidating some sort of finish here. He doesn't want to lose any more positions from what he's already lost. As Oaks looks up the inside, but not quite going to be enough for him to make it happen. So that's going to mean, unless the draft can kick in, is he going to do it? It's going to be not quite enough. So Nathan Addis will take 5th position, followed by Taylor Oaks. Craig Priest will finish 4th. Daniel Bugler 3rd. So 7th will be Matthew Kinsman. 8th will be Jason Wilds. 9th Chris Bramley. 10th Aaron Wilson. 11th will be Brad Jessen. 12th will be Rob Derrick. 13th Daniel Kinsman. 14th Trevor Christensen. 15th will be, as he's coming across the line, no, it'll actually be 14th for Tony Dance, sorry. I think Christensen may have underfueled possibly. No, Christensen has got 14th, so not sure what the case is there. So it's Tony Dance and Paul Jaffer in 16th. 17th is Luke Dunsford. 18th is Nick Higgins, as Rothbury is doing some Shane Van Gisbergen style burnouts on the front stretch. 19th will go to Brian Hewson, and 20th will go to Damien Bultree, and then Andrew Jones in 21st. So that is race 1 over. Race 2 will be a reverse grid of the finishing order of race number 1. So we will take a quick break and we will hope to see you back joining us for race number 2.
Go, go, go! The world's best racing car simulators are now available for your personal and corporate entertainment. We manufacture for sale or hire open wheel and saloon car simulators. Don't bore your guests with long speeches, entertain them with something a little different at your corporate events. Set an impression that lasts forever with our car simulators. Put the brakes on your busy schedule and call us today on 0800 497 377. world's best racing car simulators are now available for your personal and corporate entertainment. We manufacture for sale or hire open wheel and saloon car simulators. Don't bore your guests with long speeches, entertain them with something a little different at your corporate events. Set an impression that lasts forever with our car simulators. Put the brakes on your busy schedule and call us today on 0800 497 377. best racing car simulators are now available for your personal and corporate entertainment. We manufacture for sale or hire open wheel and saloon car simulators. Don't bore your guests with long speeches. Entertain them with something a little different at your corporate events. Set an impression that lasts forever with our car simulators. Put the brakes on your busy schedule and call us today on 0800 497 377.
Alrighty, it is time for race number 2 of the 2017, of round number 7, sorry, of the 2017 Hyperstimulator New Zealand Supercars League. Reverse grid of the finishing order of race number 1, which means Damien Boltry will start on pole with Brian Hewson on the front row, joining him in second position. We are about to go green. Lights are on. 4 lights. Lights out and away we go. Good start by the looks of it from Luke Dunsford as he's going to go up the inside of everyone to make it 3 wide, and he's going to possibly get the lead. There's going to go 4-1 in the background. It's going to be messy. So we head into turn 1. There's contact between Luke Dunsford. Oh, and there's a big pile-up. Oh, big shunt. Massive shunt. Multiple cars involved. Kinsman, Jaffa, Dunsford, Higgins, Jessen, Wilson, Reed and Bramley all involved. Massive incident. We'll take a look. We'll grab a replay of that quickly. Oh, there's more contact between Addis and Breed. Oh, that's messy. We'll go back to a replay of what happened at turn 1 from a helicopter's point of view, or drone more or less, depending on who you are. So it looks like Tony Dance has just come in slightly too hot into the corner and has unfortunately just pelted, I think that's Daniel Kinsman, yes it is, and then Kinsman's hit Dunsford, Dunsford's hit Higgins, and then Kinsman's pushed into Jaffa. Then there's just been Jessen crash into, I think that is Hewson, and then Derek's gone around, and then everyone's just ploughed into each other. Oh dear, that's not gone particularly well. So, looking further back, we'll check out what's happened here. So, yeah, that was more carnage. There's been more carnage as well, by the looks of it. So apparently there's a bit more up ahead. Not sure if there was actually, to be honest. So back to live, that was actually none at all. So everybody seems to have sorted themselves out at the moment, for the time being. So it is Jason Wilds who leads at the moment, followed by Matthew Kinsman, Tony Dance, Benton Rothberg, Taylor Oakes. Quick change for position there as well from Taylor Oakes, and Craig Priest changing at the moment. And Priest has managed to secure that position back, so he's 5th, Taylor Oakes 6th, then it'll be 7th, Daniel Bugler, 8th, Christensen, 9th, Peter Reid. Peter Reid's going to look to make a move into 8th around Christensen. No, not quite. Oh, but he's going to go around the outside here. And he's done it. Christensen's just let him go easily. So Christensen will go down to 9th. 10th is Damien Boltry. Ethan Addis 11th, 12th is Brian Hewson, 13th Chris Bramley, 14th Daniel Kinsman, 15th Nick Higgins, 16th Rob Derrick, 17th Aaron Wilson, 18th Paul Jaffa, 19th Luke Dunsford, and then Brad Jessen in 20th. Who's unfortunately opted to retire. So the battle for the lead and just further back is starting to heat up. We'll have a look at this battle for just outside the podium between Rothberg, Dance, Priest. Priest is going up the inside of Dance, and he's got the move done. Bugler's looking to make a move around the outside of Taylor Oakes here. Is he going to get it done? Not quite. Peter Reid's going to take advantage of that, and he's going to go around the out. No, he's not actually. Bugler's managed to hold on to that position. So, excuse me. So anyway, moving back to the racing. It is currently pretty bunched up. Oh, Trevor Kristen just in the background there. Getting a little bit loose on the throttle. Peter Reeder's looking to make a move up the inside. He's in the draft. Will go on board. Is he going to get it done? Yes, he is. Up the inside of Taylor Oakes. Even so, he's going to get turn 1. Pretty good move there to move himself up into 6th position. He's going to have Tony dance here as well as they head into turn 4. Yes, he's done it despite a minor lock-up of that left front. Now, Bugler's going to go around. No, Tony Dance is going to just hold on to 6th position. Bugler's looking feisty though. He's going to want to get past. Number of guys further back currently on a charge to try and gain back positions after that quite messy start as Tony Dance just runs slightly wide through the final corner, and that's allowed Oakes and Bugler go through. So that's quite interesting how close it is at the moment between the front lot as Oakes has a look up the inside. Has he got the move done? Someone has had it off there. So the battle between Nathan, oh no, sorry, Taylor Oakes and Daniel Bugler still fairly close by the looks of it. Daniel Bugler's looking like he's got a little bit of pace here, by the looks of it. So this battle for, that's going to be all contact between Priest and Wilds. That is for the lead of the race. Priest is going to go through on Jason Wilds there. Oh, and there's been contact between Reed and Wilds there. So that's allowed Priest to get ahead. So it's fairly... Just trying to have a look through the field to see what's happening at the moment. Currently, everybody seems to be a little bit spread out. Kinsman and Christensen going at it at the moment. Come back to the lead battle later. As Reed has had a very wild entry into pit lane by the looks of it. Had a few skid marks on the ground. Not sure. Oh no, it would be his compulsory pit stop. Oh, as Kinsman goes up the inside of Dance with a massive dive bomb, but just manages to pull it up. And Dance is looking to possibly stick with him. He's holding on. As Christensen in the background just running a little bit wide, probably a little bit too deep under brakes possibly, but it's cost them a little bit of time to Kinsman and Dance. So Kinsman probably with the better pace at the moment by the looks of it. He's done a 106.1 while Dance has done a 107.6. So definitely much quicker. Rothberg in the lane by the looks of it, as well as Taylor Oakes. So guys will start to be, well, excuse me, will start to be making their compulsory pit stops, as I believe that was someone else in pit lane. Christensen in pit lane by the looks of it as well. So that's 3 guys out of the way, well, getting their pit stops out of the way, sorry. So Kinsman's pulled quite a gap now by the looks of it. So we'll jump to the battle for the final spots on the podium between Bramley and Bugler, sorry. Priest has built quite a lead by the looks of it, and it's mainly due to the fact that what happened between Reed and Wilds earlier on. So that little incident has definitely helped Priest. He's got a 7-second lead at the moment, and he's in pit lane. So what are Bugler and Bramley going to do? Bramley's in pit lane as well. So Bugler stays in and will take over the lead of the race. See whether the overcut is going to work here. I would presume possibly not, as Tony Dance also goes by. Nathan Addis looking to make a move on, I think that was... didn't quite catch the name there. Paul Jaffa, yes it was. I was going to say Paul, but was just waiting for the confirmation to come up on screen. So Kinsman making his way past the lap traffic of these two. Nathan Addis is going to go around the outside. No, he backs out of it. And Jaffa runs wide, and that's going to allow Nathan Addis to go through. And he's done it. He's got the move done, so that moves him up into position number 17. Oh, no. Oh, Paul off in the background there with a big moment. Not sure whether the curb caught him out, but he's managed to recover it fairly quickly. So, Bugler has not pitted. Bugler's staying out, so he's trying to run it long, and same with Kinsman, apparently, by the looks of it. And I think that was Aaron Wilson in the background there in pit lane. Rob Derrick exiting pit lane, and Ben Rothberg entering pit lane, if I'm not mistaken. No, sorry, that was Aaron Wilson entering pit lane, and I'm not sure who... Oh, Nick Higgins, sorry, who was exiting pit lane. Well, travelling down the lane anyway. So the field fairly spread out at the moment. Not a lot really going on. It's a couple of... It's roughly a couple of seconds between each car in terms of the gap. So it's all going to be about who hasn't pitted yet, and that is Kinsman, Bugler and Dance by the looks of it. Priest is in 4th, currently 29 seconds behind. So I'd say he is the effective race leader as far as over and undercutting goes. Addis is going to look to make a move up the inside of Kinsman. There's a bit of contact. Addis runs deep, and that's going to allow Kinsman to go back through. Oh, big sideways moment there for Addis. So it looks like also Peter Reid's fallen down the order a little bit for some reason. I'm not sure what's happened there. He's currently sitting 11th at the moment, so not sure whether he's made a mistake or what's happened. As Aaron Wilson is actually serving a drive-through for speeding a pit lane by the looks of it, I would say. So, no, he's actually stopped in his box, so I'm not sure whether he's not known to drive through pit lane or just stop in pit lane. He might be getting confused here. As Kinsman comes into pit lane, darts into pit lane, and Bugler stays out. So, Bugler is running it very long, actually. Unless he has pitted. No, he hasn't pitted, just making sure. So currently Bugler is in as a 40-second lead over 26-second lead over Priest at the moment. So I'd say Priest is probably going to jump Bugler here in the pit when Bugler pits. He's still yet to pit, and there's about 5 laps remaining in the race. So Bugler's really left this late. In terms of when he's going to stop and make his compulsory pit stop. Running wide a little bit too much there through the hairpin. It's probably going to cost him a little bit of time, but not a huge amount. As Peter Reid moves up into 7th place by the looks of it, over getting a move done on Daniel Kinsman. Oh, there's been a bit of an accident between Matthew Kinsman and someone else by the looks of it, trying to find it. We'll quickly grab a replay and see what happened here. So we'll go on board as he's come into turn 1, and Wilson's just turned in on him, and he's hit the inside wall with a massive, to cause a massive hit for himself and a bit of damage probably, I'd say. So that's definitely have cost him for sure. So that drops him down to 12th from that, and I think he's got quite a bit of damage, and he's stuck in the gravel trap, so I'm probably going to say he's going to have to pit for damage at this point, unfortunately. So we'll jump back to a battle somewhere in the pack. Jason Wild's currently coming under pressure from Peter Reid and Daniel Kinsman, just behind him. And this is the battle for 6th, I believe. Yes, it is. The battle for 6th position. Chris Bramley not too far up the road. Oh, Peter Reid getting very close. As Wild's getting held up a little bit by traffic. This is going to hurt him. Peter Reid's going to take advantage, and he's going to look to go up the inside at the start of the final sector, and he's got the move done just. And he's going to get by traffic here. Wilds has had to take evasive action onto the grass for some reason. Oh, and he's run straight into the back of... Oh, Peter Reid's been involved in an incident. The traffic is causing issues at the moment. So that's allowed Daniel Kinsman to get by. Peter Reid's going to go back up the inside of Jason Wilds here. Jason Wilds holding him off. It's going to be close. Oh, that's very... close to that inside wall. He's lucky not to have actually ended up in that inside wall, actually. So Reid is now in front of Kinsman and Wilds is going to look to go make a move on Kinsman here. Is he going to get it done? He's going to go up the end. He's going to have a look, but not quite got it done. So now Peter Reid and Daniel Kinsman have got it through. On contact between a lapped car, and Peter Reid's gone around. So, oh, big Peter Reid just casually drifting it through the corner. Oh, and there's been an incident. Oh, that's a big crash between Damien and Peter Reid there. So I think Reid's probably not going to be happy now with that happening. That's caused him to fall down to 8th at the moment. Jason Wilds still 7th and Kinsman 6th, so he hasn't actually lost too much, but it's going to ruin the battle a little bit. As Reid finally gets past Damien. It's probably not ideal to be holding up a lead car like that, like he did, and causing incidents, but anyway, moving on. So currently a battle actually going on at the front of the field, so we'll jump to that quickly between Priest and Rothberg. Priest may have a little bit of pace here. It's going to be the final lap, so it's going to be interesting to see whether Rothberg can hold on, as there is also a battle just between Bramley and Oaks. It's looking like Bramley's probably going to have it. So looks like Rothberg's probably got it in the bag here if he doesn't have a mistake or an incident. He's definitely been locking up those fronts a little bit as well, so I'm quite surprised he's still got the pace, even though he's been damaging those tyres quite as much. Well, as much as he has, sorry. But as he comes out of the final corner, race number 2's winner is going to be Ben Rothberg to make it 2 for 2 so far tonight, with Craig Priest taking 2nd place. Chris Bramley will round out the podium in 3rd. 4th will go to Taylor Oaks. 5th will be Daniel Bugler after a late pit stop, as he has lost a couple positions because of that. That's hurt him a bit. Daniel Kinsman will finish 6th. 7th will be Jason Wilds as he comes across the line now. 8th will go to Peter Reid, who's coming across the line now as well. 10th, rounding out the top 10, will be Trevor Christensen, as Matthew Kinsman and Damien Boltery having a race to the finish line there, as Kinsman's put himself in the wall as well. 11th will go to Luke Dunsford. 12th, Tony Dance. 13th, Nathan Addis, as he's coming out of the final corner now. And then just behind him is Brian Hooson in 13th. 14th will go to Rob Derrick. 15th will go to Nick Higgins. 16th will go to Paul Jaffer. 17th will go to Matthew Kinsman. 18th will go to Damien Boltree. 19th will go to Aaron Wilson. 20th will go to Brad Jesson. From 14th downward, they finished a lap down. So we hope you to join us for race number 3. We'll take a quick break and then we'll come back for race number 3. So be sure to stick around for what is going to be hopefully another exciting race.
world's best racing car simulators are now available for your personal and corporate entertainment. We manufacture for sale or hire open wheel and saloon car simulators. Don't bore your guests with long speeches, entertain them with something a little different at your corporate events. Set an impression that lasts forever with our car simulators. Put the brakes on your busy schedule and call us today on 0800 497 377.
Rightio, race 3 time for round number 7. It is a reverse grid of the points for the night. So Damien Boltry and Nick Higgins are on the front row. Lights are green and away we go. Not a bad start from, it looks like Jessen there. He's going to go around the outside possibly. We're going to go 4 wide almost, 3 wide and 4 wide. Oh, Nathan Anderson barreling into there on, oh, Jason Wilds just bouncing off the inside wall there. As they come through the first corner, oh, there's contact between Kinsman and Derek, and then there's also someone else being involved. Drama already out of turn 1 as they head through turn number 5, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a battle going on between Kinsman and Darts. We'll have a look at that for now. Oh, Kinsman's giving him a big hit and he's just about turned him. So as they complete lap 1, oh, and there's cars off in the background. That is Paul Jaffa and Aaron Wilson, I believe. No, Ben Rothberg. No, actually it is Damien Boltry, actually. I do apologise for that. So as we continue to focus on this little mid-pack battle, Aaron Wilson doing the over and under on Matthew Kinsman there to take 4th position. Is the field still fairly compressed at the moment? Or Bugler having a look up the inside, and same with Kinsman there on the cars ahead, which was Wilson and Derek. As Derek's looking up the inside, almost getting, whoa, that was close. As the Rothberg's looking to make a move as well in the background there on Bugler. So the battle's still going on at the slight front end of the pack here. It seems to have separated a little bit in the past lap because of what's happened. But it is currently Nick Higgins who is leading Brad Jessen. Brad is all over him at the moment and he's got the move done on him. Nick Higgins has actually run wide. So, oh, Kinsman moving over on Rothberg there. Oh, and he's put him in the fence. Oh, bit of blocking there going on. Oh, and Kinsman under brakes. Oh, and he's hit. I think that was Dunsford. No, it's Higgins, and he's gone off with him. No, and Dunsford's trying to get up the inside, and he's got by just. As now Higgins is back with Priest and Wilds, and it's going to get fairly wild as Jason's on the grass. Oh, and there's contact between Kinsman and... Oh, and they're on a big crash. Massive accident between Jason Wilds and Nick Higgins. The Higgins on his roof. That is a massive accident. Tony Dance involved as well, and I think there was also... Craig Priest just managed to make it through. We'll take a replay. We'll have a look at a replay of that accident and go on board with Nick Higgins, actually. See what he saw. is coming through the corner. He's just been pelted by Jason Wilds and then just hit Jason and actually gone over, and then not sure who that was. I think that was Aaron Wilson who just drove into him with nowhere to go. Daniel Kinsman also involved. Massive airtime there from Nick Higgins onto 2 wheels, and then Wilson's had nowhere to go and just pretty much tipped him over entirely. So that's caused Higgins to now end up near the rear of the field, that in 16th, as well as Tony Dance. So unfortunate for that to happen to them. And Craig Priest is apparently in pit lane. I'm not exactly sure why, but anyway, moving on. Have a look through the field and see what battles are going on. One between Taylor Oakes and Aaron Wilson at the moment. Aaron Wilson is looking to go over and under on him, and he's got it done. Or is Taylor Oakes going to have a look? No, he manages to get around him properly. So Wilson moves up into 11th. Taylor Oakes looking back up the inside. Oh, that's close. So we'll go back through and see what other battles there are. One going on at the moment between Bramley, Addis and Bugler. Addis looking like there's still 4 corners on the car in that 4 square Holden Commodore. Fun fact for everyone, it is 4 Square's 93rd birthday actually here in New Zealand. So one of the oldest stores in New Zealand actually. Convenience stores to be exact. As Bugler's going to chuck it up the inside at the final corner. On a bit of contact from Nathan Addison. That's forced Bugler to run wide. So, and that's allowed Bramley to actually go straight back through. And he's going to take 3rd position off Nathan Addison there. Nathan's going to stay in the draft. Is that going to help? As it's gonna be Jessen's all over him after that little incident, turn 1 between him and Ben Rothberg, sorry. Not Rob Derrick. Oh, and Brownlee's gone around! Brownlee has gone around, not sure. There was a bit of contact and Bugler's gone up the inside. Oh, and there's contact! Jeez. So Bramley's actually done that all on his own as well. He's just taken a wee bit too much curb. And then Bugler's pretty much just gone in too deep, and that's the reason why there was contact. So now Nathan Addis sits in 2nd position, Brad Jessen 3rd, and Daniel Bugler 4th. It's pretty close at the moment between those 3. As Jessen pokes his nose out from behind Nathan Addis, but doesn't get the move done. Far too back to actually make a move, so it was probably unlikely that there was going to be a move done anyway. As Nathan Addis seems to be pulling away a little bit from Brad Jessen here. So Brad Jessen looking like he's got quite a good run here onto the front stretch. Tucked right in behind Nathan Addis in the draft. He's going to pull out. What's he going to do here? Is he going to get the move done? He's up the inside. No, Nathan Addis has actually outbraked him there. So Nathan will hold on to that position. Oh, Brad going back. Always run wide. Slightly too much power possibly. coming out of turn 1, so that's cost him. As Jason's made another mistake there, and that's going to cost him a just about. It almost cost him a position. As they come through the final corner, Jason's looking like he's got a run again on Bugler this time. What's he going to do? We'll go on board with Jason here. See how he is going to... He's got the move done on this. Oh, that's a big dive to almost... He's lucky he didn't actually turn Nathan Addis there. And Bugler's actually gone around the outside of him because of it. So, Brad Jessen not quite playing it smart there. And he's ended up losing out because of it. So he's now down to a big slide there from him. So he's now down to 4th. Bugler moves up to 3rd. That's a bit of an over-aggressive move there by Jessen. So he's got a little bit of pace. Apparently there's a bit of a battle pack between Bramley and Christensen. No, there isn't, sorry. That pop-up there that just happened, and Bugler's up the inside of Nathan Addis again with a bit of a dive bomb, and Nathan Addis has just come straight back past saying, "See you later, mate," as he dives in the pit lane as well. That was a bit of a useless move, but anyway, never mind. I'm not in the car, so I can't really say much, but anyway, that's just my opinion. As Bugler comes into turn 1 a little bit wide there. So it'll be interesting to see where Nathan Addis comes out in all of this. As there's also Trevor Christensen and I believe not Paul Jaffa, sorry. Trying to see who it was. Brian Houston, sorry. Anyway, back to what's happening on the screen at the moment. Filling everybody in with what's happening in pit stops just then. Bugler's look all over the rear end of Jessen here. Kinsman is actually caught up, so he's right behind Bugler and Jessen now. Is Bugler going to throw up the inside? Yes, he is. Oh, he's had to back out of that one, or he's going to end up in the concrete wall on the inside. That was lucky as Jessen comes in for his compulsory pit stop. Kinsman's all over the rear end of Bugler here. Is he going to get it done? He's going to opt to go around the outside. Nope. He's going to hold on to... No, Bugler's run wide, and that's allowed Kinsman to go through. Oh, a bit of bump and rub on. He's turned him. So that's allowed... That's going to hurt them both, and that now Peter Reid's in the background. They better hurry up. Peter Reid getting very sideways actually out of turn 1 there. Just in the background. So now Peter Reid's coming through. Oh, that's close. He's managed to weave his way through, thread the needle, as he's going to go up the inside of Kinsman in. He's got him. Very, very close. On contact from Kinsman. There's bump and rub on. There's contact, and Kinsman getting off the floor, in fact. So the battle's still going on between Bugler, Kinsman and Reid. It's going to be interesting to see how they go. Go back to the battle between Nathan Addis and Brad Jessen, which is currently going on for 5th position. the final spot in the top 5. Chris Bramley not too far behind. He'll definitely want to be recovering from earlier incident where he saw Jesson's up the inside. Bit of a rough move there. There was kind of no real gap there, to be honest. Oh, Nathan has just slots in behind there, behind Brad Jesson. So Jesson now up into 5th position. Nathan Addison to 6th. Bramley is coming. And Nathan Addison is going to slide. Oh, it throws it up the inside. Not intentionally, by the sounds of it. So these two fighting are going to help Bramley catch up and possibly even get a top 5 result here. As that looks like Nick Higgins in the background pitting for his compulsory pit stop. Yes, it is. As he's dropping down the order. So Bramley is actually catching. He's done a 1 minute 5.5 that last lap, whereas Nathan and Brad have done a 1 minute 6.8 for Nathan and a 1 minute 6.6 for Brad. So Bramley is hammered down. He is pushing very hard to try and catch and hopefully pass Brad and Nathan here. Not too long to go either. 14 laps in, so Peter Reid, who is currently leading, is just exiting turn 1 now, so just over 14 lap, well, 6 laps, sorry, to go. As now Bramley's in the draft of Nathan Addison. Nathan Addison's in the draft of Brad Jesson. What's Nathan going to do? He's looking, he's going to brake late, but it's not going to be in. He's closed onto the rear of Brad Jesson here. What's going to happen? It's going to be very close. Bramley's also closed up as well. Ooh, Bramley using a little bit of grass there. Same with Nathan. As Nathan's now fairly close to being able to pounce on Jesson here. Bramley's now very close to Nathan, so Addis trying to fend off Bramley, but he's also trying to catch and pass Jesson, so he's got quite a bit of pressure on his shoulders at the moment to try hold on as Bramley pokes his nose out from behind. And Jesson's made a mistake. That's going to help, and Bramley's going to go up the inside, side by side. Oh, almost in the wall, both of them there. Jeez, that was close. So Nathan Addis is actually quicker than Brad Jesson by the looks of it, according to that little delta in the bottom right hand corner. As he's gone around the outside and he's gone off and he's into the gravel. That's it, he's off and into the gravel. Bramley has gone through to take 5th position, and now he will be on the hunt for Brad Jesson there, with 5 and a bit laps to go. Nathan will be coming under fire from Craig Priest now, who is sitting in 7th and not too far behind Nathan. So it's gonna be... So apparently Peter Reid's actually in pit lane now, making his compulsory pit stop. Bramley's just poking his nose out. Oh, he's had to take evasive action and not run into Jesson there. Very close. And Priest has apparently got past Bramley by the looks of it. There's Peter Reid exiting pit lane, so he's fallen down to 5th, I believe. Yes, he has. So now Bramley and Jesson go up into 3rd and 4th. So the battle for the final spot on the podium between Jesson and Bramley at the moment, with 4 laps to go. Daniel Bugler currently leads this race by a 8-second gap, and Bramley's now all over the rear end of Jesson. He'll be looking to make a move here at possibly the hairpin. He's going to go not quite around the outside, and he's going to try and do the over and under, and the gap closes. So that's not going to happen for him. As Peter Reid is just in the background. I'd say he's probably going to get him. Definitely on Jessen with a bit of a wild move as Bramley possibly looks up the inside. Now Peter Reid's got a very good run out of the final corner on a bit of bump and barge from Jessen and Bramley, as Peter Reid is now going to look to go around the outside. He's going to go onto the there's contact from Jessen and Bramley. Reid's gone. And Reid's actually gone around the outside of him. So we'll actually have a look. We'll actually go back on a replay and have a look at that impressive move from on board Peter Reid's car. So he's just gone straight around the outside, and he's then gone under and over and under Brad Jessen to take second place. So an absolutely amazing move from Peter Reid there to go from 3 wide on the more or less exit road, I guess you could say. But anyway, going back to live, apparently Brad Jessen's now got Bramley all over him. Bramley's all over the back end of him. He's not quite close enough this time. Oh, and he's gone back underneath them. Oh, and he's pushing. Bramley using that chrome horn to give him a bit of a push. So Bramley's got to run. Oh, bit of loose there. He got really loose. Very lucky to hold on to it that time. But Bramley's going to want to get by. Priest is coming, but I don't think it's going to be enough here. He's getting a little bit held up by traffic here, so it's probably going to mean he's not going to catch him. Bramley's going to look up the inside. Oh, bit of contact. Bramley's really wanting to get by now. He's definitely not leaving anything on the table. He's putting it all on the... leaving anything off the table, sorry. On Peter Reid's in pit lane. Peter Reid is in pit lane for some reason. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure whether that's a drive-through or whether that's... he's under fueled. I'm going to say he's under fueled by the looks of it. So that's going to drop him to quite far down the order by the looks of it. No, it's a drive-through penalty. So he's actually made a mistake going into pit lane. Disaster for Peter Reid as he's just come out of pit lane, and that's going to be 12th for him. From 2nd to 12th, and Priest is all over the rear end now of Brad Jessen. It's going to be a 3-way fight for the final spot on the podium between Bramley, Jessen and Priest. Is Priest going to get by? Bramley's definitely got by Jessen now. So Bramley's going to finish 2nd here if he holds on to it. Jessen's going to finish 3rd if he holds on to it. Priest will finish 4th if he doesn't get by. Oh, a little bit wide there from Priest. Has Jessen got anything left for Bramley as they come through the final few corners? It's going to be a very Hail Mary move if he tries to make a move. No, he doesn't. So Bramley's going to hold on, and Ben Rothberg is going to win race number 3 to make it 3 from 3 tonight, to make it a clean sweep. And there's more carnage going on. Jessen will finish 3rd, Priest 4th, 5th will go to Aaron Wilson, 6th Nathan Addis, 7th Taylor Oakes, and Daniel Bugler is right behind. He's going to pull out. Is it going to be a race to the line? Who's going to get it? Taylor Oakes gets it to take 7th place. Daniel Bugler will get 8th. Oh, Daniel Kinsman 9th. 10th on. Peter Higgins just to the line. That was very close. He's just pipped Rob Derrick by ever so marginally. It's been 8 thousandths of a second at the line. We'll have a look at what's happened here across the line from above. Aerial view, it's very close as they come across the line. But for the miners, Peter Reid is going to get him by ever so slightly. Literally a front splitter, and that is it. What a finish there. A hell of a finish indeed. So 11th will continue with the order. 11th will be Trevor Christensen. 12th will be Jason Wilds. 13th is Matthew Kinsman. 14th is Paul Jaffa. 15th is Brian Hewson. 16th is Tony Dance. 17th Damien Boultier. 18th Nick Higgins. 19th Daniel Bugler. And that is the finishing order for race number 3. So we hope you all thoroughly enjoyed tonight's racing, including that last lap finish there. We hope to see you next time on the 17th of July. So in about 2 weeks' time, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, so not next week, 3 weeks, sorry, actually. So 3 weeks we will be at the tight and twisting, difficult Townsville Street Circuit. So